Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 24th of July. So looking at the euro dollar as ever first, and well, from a daily perspective, we've pushed on through the monthly R2 at the moment. It's just sort of managed to close above that sort of level, but will it retrace by the end of the month? We'll see. At the moment, it's got the weekly pivot below us, quite a way back here at 1598 sort of area, actually 1594 actually. Um, so we have got potential retrace on the books there. In fact, there's potential for the 4-hourly to come back to those prior highs there. I guess it's just below that level, but for now, just watching this euro around these highs here. It did manage to break in and give us a bit of divergence on the hourly picture here into the early morning highs here on my charts. Now there's a potential for it today to at least break down towards that 50, but we'll see how it goes post 8 o'clock really. But if it starts breaking down towards the 50, well, as I said, we've got the daily pivot, the weekly pivot below. So that's pretty much that. Any sort of rallies, we'll be looking at the upper side here and see if it breaks above these prior highs at 1676 sort of zone, and see if it pushes back up towards the daily L1. The upside may be a little bit limited. One thing I noticed on the dailies, it did start slowing down a little bit here. Well, only Friday. We'll see how today goes. It's probably more on the 4-hourlies. It's showing more of a slowdown. Okay, that's the euro. Let's have a look at the pound. Pound, well, it's already below and touched a weekly pivot here. And this pattern, I'm just sort of looking, it's sort of almost bear flaggish, and I'm wondering if it'll also move south again. Certainly looking from this 4-hourly picture at the moment, it may be giving us this sort of shooting starry sort of pattern into the weekly pivot, which, as I say, it looks bearish to me. The daily pivot's below us, a break below that, well, I'd probably be looking for Friday's lows there, maybe even more back towards that 60-minute 500. That would be the maybe even further than that, even the 240, 200 sort of zone, maybe, if it gets a bigger correction going here. But that may be a bit of a big ask for today, but we may see that materialize as we run through the early part of the week. Dollar yen, well, looking at this at the moment, well, another big down day on Friday there. We have got the weekly pivot above us, which could cause a draw, and it looks like it's sort of shaping up for that at the moment with this 4-hourly hammer it's put in there. It could just be looking to push back towards that weekly pivot, and there's the daily and weekly above us here. We can see on the hourly chart here. Now, it needs to first get beyond those hourly 21s there. If it can work its way through that, well, certainly it looks like it's got some decent potential to the upside there for at least a bit of a retrace. Now, can't ignore the bigger trend that's been going on here with the dollar yen. It's certainly been lower highs, lower lows in the main. If we do see a breakdown from this 21, a bigger breakdown, well, could be back down for the lows, the S1, maybe a bit more. Now, I am expecting the markets to quieten down a tad as we move into this week, as the bigger holiday season properly starts here. Often we see low volumes, but we'll see what can kick the market for us. Aussie dollar, well, the Aussies, again, as ever, it seems to be breaking the mold a little bit this morning, putting a bit more of a positive start here. Still got the weekly pivot below it, which may yet drag it down. Bit of a mess on the 4-hourlies last week. We never managed to push up to a new high, but if we did, in a sharpish point of view, if we could get up there back into that weekly, maybe R1 zone, it would give us a bit of a butterfly. No, it wouldn't. Tell a lie. No, it wouldn't give us a butterfly at all. So wouldn't ignore that completely. But as I said, it has got the weekly pivot below, so again it sort of matches up with most of these other markets, which I like them all drawing in a similar pattern. So there is the potential for the Aussie to slip back towards that level, maybe even towards Friday's lows there if it gets any momentum on the downside there. If the momentum builds up significantly, we may see a bigger correction of this move. We did put a lower high in, that's for sure, on that 60-minute, and confirmed by this lower low in the short term. It's whether or not it can hold here, and well, I'd expect it to see it pushing up strong if it's still got some momentum of the bigger move. Okay, finally the Canadian dollar. I understand OPEC and non-OPEC members are meeting in Russia, so we may see some moves coming through on the Canadian dollar from that. Now Friday we saw us close off pretty towards the end, low of the candle, which may suggest a bit of continuation in this move. Although in the short term here we have got the weekly pivot sitting above us at 125.83 sort of area, which we may see a retracement back into. Certainly at this moment, I was looking at one point last week and it looked like it may have been trying a bit more of a reversal. I've flipped that main trend line back in there because it seems to be dancing around that like a good one. It's more like a regression trend average line than anything else. It seems to be working at the moment, but has got daily pivot, weekly pivot above. Any sort of push back above that 21 could see those being hit. Now these moving averages have been tested many times now, 21s, the 50, 34. Price action into that may be a bit softer. So that's it. That's pretty much it for the morning now, or day. From what I can see there. Now, looking at news-wise, we have got the French flash manufacturing data coming out in around about 8 minutes' time. As I'm recording this, 8 or 9 minutes' time, we've got the manufacturing services, and at 8:30 we'll get the German figures out and see the overall European figures at 9. It's the French and German that tends to give us a little bit more of a kicker. So the euro may be a bit volatile up until about 9 o'clock-ish, and then well, there's not much else out there today. Some wholesale sales for Canada, which really doesn't give much of a move at all, and existing home sales in the US, which again don't really give much. I think the biggest move may be from any comments. I'm not too sure of the timing of the OPEC and non-OPEC officials meeting in Russia. I don't know what the time is. Timings are around that, but that may give us more volatility than anything else, I guess. Just flicking through to see if the news timing of that is actually to meet. They are to meet, so they haven't met yet. That's good. I would imagine it will be later into the day today, so that could give some volatility later. Right, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.